Alright, how about now? Is that any better?
Continue talking.
Right. I'm going to keep on talking
It's
so you're able to
okay.
hear me.
It's okay. We'll go with it.
Right. I just don't want buzzing on like that while we're listening back.
Yeah, it'll be a hell of a buzz.
Be a bit of a buzz kill, if you know what I'm saying.
Buzz.
Buzz. Anyway, we digress. We continue on.
Okay, go.
I was just about to. Dear God, you give it 5 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
And this fella on the 4th second goes, "You can go." Okay, master, I will now. That's the cut. You can go now. And I will say this then, just to get it started off.
You can
get it started off. I'll say, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for tuning in to the Talking Telly podcast. Of course, it's your boys, and we went to go see Creed 3 in the cinema there. Was it last week? Yeah, it was. It was last week.
Yeah, it started last week. Jesus.
We tried to get the podcast out, but unfortunately, internet troubles kept us away from doing so. I think we're already 40, maybe 45 minutes into the pod already.
Yeah, we're 30 minutes in, but since we live in a third world country, internet's not readily available to us as in others.
Considering most of our views come from somewhat second to third world country, I really hope we don't offend anyone.
The insult on India. Oh, good heavens.
I did not name the fucking country.
Oh,
what
good
are
heavens.
you doing? We're gonna get banned. We're gonna get banned. I hope you're happy now. They're after us. Dear God.
You said it, not me.
Can never eat another masala again. They're gonna spike me. Dear God, please, Tandoori, please, I beg of you, don't kill me.
48% viewer base is about to drop.
Oh dear God, we're about to get boycotted.
Bangladesh.
Walk on Bangladesh. Walk on Calcutta. Oh dear God.
Oh.
The Talking Telly podcast. Our classist.
Oh. Okay,
dear God. Anyway, we'll continue on, folks. We went to go see Creed 3 there the other day. And I have to say, this movie was not bad. This movie was not great. But it was a good movie. I feel like once you get that into your head and you sit back, you relax, and you don't overanalyze this movie, it is an enjoyable watch. The acting in it at times can be a little bit scuffed. But overall, the two main characters, Adonis Creed, played by Michael B. And you got Diamond Anderson, is it? Anderson? Yeah, Anderson. Dame the Diamond Anderson, played by Kang the Conqueror.
Jonathan Majors.
Played
Kang,
by
Kang.
I feel like it's better to say Kang.
Kang.
Has more impact.
The famous villain Kang. Everybody knows
famous
Kang.
Villain Kang from Ant-Man Quantumania, baby. We do have a video up on Quantumania, which wasn't destroyed by internet troubles, if you still want to check it out. But if you don't want to, you want to keep on talking about Creed 3, keep on talking about Creed 3. Like I said, this movie is good, people. The acting in it from the two main characters, I have to say, is great for the most part. I feel like all the scenes they're in together are really well made, really well done. I feel like fight scenes could be a little bit better.
But they were better than Creed 2. It's important.
Yes, they were
much better than the rubber bandiness and the plastic CGI that was used in Creed 2 to try and show how quick and strong Victor Drago is.
Yeah, Victor Drago.
And I do want to quickly also butt in and say that the child actors, teenage actors, were great as well. I think it's important to note that the backstory, which is hinged so heavily on their performances, literally just them two, they were great. Like young Adonis and young Dame were phenomenal. Young Dame especially, he was great.
I feel like for this podcast, folks, we're gonna talk about the things we like things we disliked, and I want to give a little section at the end to how it fixed this. How I, personally, as an avid viewer of the creative Rocky movies, would fix this movie if I was producer and director. And hopefully you will agree with me in the end and say, you know, that is a better ending than what we were given. And I feel like with that, we go into what we liked with this movie. What would you say right now off the top of your head? Favorite scene, favorite moment, favorite character even. Well, what do you like about this movie right now? Just offer it.
Dame is my favorite part of the movie, even though he's also probably my biggest gripe. But my biggest gripes I have with Dame, with the potential that he could have done. We'll get onto that later. But I do have to say, I love Dame. I think, honestly, I prefer Dame before Dame before the last act, before he ever has to fight Michael B. Dame when he has to fight Chavez. Dame when he's awkwardly in a room and he's trying to talk to people and he's stammering because his English, his vocabulary isn't that good, but he's still so imposing because he's such a physical threat, and also, you know, he's in prison. You don't really know what he's capable of. And I think the backstory is one of my favorite parts. And Chavez was cool. Michael B was great, and that's kind of it. The fights were good, but I don't want to, they were nothing to write home about. And honestly, I just say the backstory. I loved Young Dame. I thought Young Dame was menacing, you know, like a menacing teenager.
A Young Dame, like all them cuts, all them flashbacks remind me of Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah.
I know it sounds awful, but it did. All the cuts and they're going into the gang room or whatever. It's like, oh, what's up, Dame?
Yeah.
And you know, he's going around dapping people up. You're there like, god damn.
He's like top boy.
Yeah, guy is literally top boy. I just thought they were going in to be like some punks or whatever, you know, getting introduced to the hood life. But nah, he goes through the back way. It's like they're waiting for me. And young Adonis Creed is like, huh? Or I should say Adonis Johnson at this stage. It's not Creed.
Yeah.
But young Adonis is like, people waiting on him? Huh? Walking through the back, getting dapped up. Hey, how you doing tonight, Dame? What? Then he gets in the ring and he's a monster. They're there making bets, taking cuts or whatever. The coach is watching them, saying like, how are they getting away with this? He's there making Adonis take bets that he'll fall in the second round. And the guy he's fighting against, bear in mind, he's like either contender or he is like the Golden Glove champ. And like,
I think he is the Golden Glove champion. And
I think he is the Golden Glove champion. And Dame is like taking knocks or whatever. And he's making them look pretty convincing. But at the same time, you know they aren't doing nothing. You're literally just waiting for Dame to just clobber this fella.
See, Dame played the we mentioned in the previous thing before the internet cut out that Adonis in his first fight was like, he was eating all these shots, but he was like, I don't care. I can see that when he turns this way, his kidney is perfectly exposed for the incapacitating strike that when I hit him, he'll instantly be knocked out. And it's like, we don't like this. But Dame was actually like, it's not like he showed that, but he was eating these hits, and then he just hit it back harder.
I feel like, yeah, I was going to go into that, about the things I disliked about this movie, but going into Dame's character and the things I did like, I fucking love that Golden Glove fight. I love that.
Great.
I love the fact that he had money on, so it already shows his cheating side.
Yeah.
It shows he was willing to make an extra buck, but the thing I liked most about it was the whole interaction with them in the car afterward.
Yeah, it was.
I really liked it.
It was so human.
Yeah, it was just really nice. It's just like two bros or whatever. And, you know, they know what they're doing is wrong. But it's still like, you know, they're looking out for each other. They're buds, they're mates. Of course, Dame doesn't realize he's affecting Adonis when he's like, you know, I'm going to go and be champ and you're going to be there pushing rags for me, you know? Because Dame takes like a main character moment, and because of that, because he's looking after what he considers his little brother, that's how he gets done in the end in the movie. That's how he gets sent to prison. You know, love for his boys, it just killed him. It killed his.
The boy didn't help him. I was having a gun didn't help him as well.
Oh, having a gun did not help whatsoever. I must make that known.
Pulling the gun on the guy also didn't help.
Same time though, they were clobbering his boy, and you know they are outside a liquor store, and they are in like, I think they said, I forget, Crenshaw. Yeah, so they're like in a rough area.
Should have been in bed.
Should have been in bed.
Stupid kids.
Fair, Adonis wasn't right for clobber your man.
Huh?
But like, yeah, especially when you had all his mates around with him, you know, you just think you'd like hold it in or something. But anyway, we'll continue on with what I liked in the movie. I can't say I loved the betrayal, but I loved the betrayal scene.
Yeah, I love the beach scene.
I love the beach scene, and Creed comes up. He's like, "Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that to him?" And this, that, and the other. He's like, "Well, I'm the champ now." Like, yeah, look, I've done it. And Creed can't really say nothing because you know
he's the champ.
He's the champ. He's done it. Like he won Chavez. Of course, it wasn't by fair means, and that's what Creed was saying. It's like, well, look, I still did it. The refs were there. They said nothing. I still won. And Creed had nothing to say to this. He got a black eye because of it.
Yeah. Oh, actually, that's the thing I didn't like. It wasn't a black eye. It was a little scratch, a tiny little swelling on the side of his eye.
Honestly, I think in that scene, and I'll get onto this later, but things that fix in this movie, I think Creed should have taken a beating on that beach.
Maybe not a beating. Maybe not a beating. Nah. Why would he beat up? There's no reason to beat up his homie.
Bear in mind, Creed just came up, and you can literally have like, I don't know, goddamn Dame talking to the guy Creed just knocked out on one punch. I love that as well. That whole scene where he walks up on the beach and the guy's like, "Hey, you're not supposed to be here." Like Creed wasn't world champ boxer for like 5-6 years in this movie. Like he didn't like beat the best of the best.
Yeah.
And this dude thinks he can step up on Creed, and Creed just lays him out. I thought that scene was hilarious. But I thought it would have been even better if Dame started the shit talking and just started laying into Creed.
Why would he start hitting Creed? That makes no sense. That's part of the problem.
Or even have Creed try to punch Dame or something like that. And
why? They don't want to punch each other. You just want them to fight before they fight.
Bear in mind, Creed's fighter, Chavez, was beaten unjustly in the ring.
Yes, but that doesn't. But Adonis didn't come in. Adonis didn't go up and start wailing on him.
No, he didn't. But I'm saying it just would have been. What's the best way to describe this? It would have been a lot better for the movie, I think, if they actually seriously showed Dame as like a convincing contender.
Okay, that is an actual good take. So let's go to that straight away. Dame wins, and people are like, "Oh, Dame's pretty good. Like he just beat Chavez. Oh, he's good." And then all of a sudden, it's Dame's the best. Shut up, Creed. You're done. You're washed. Oh, you haven't fought in 2-3 years. Pathetic. You were never as good as Dame. Dame was the best. Dame is the best. And it's like he won one fight when coming out of jail. How is he the best of all time now? How is he how is no one even close to him? Surely the reaction would be he's a fraud and the only one by cheating, not that he's the best of all time. And I think they should have made the movie 15 minutes longer, cut some stuff with the man, and they should have had a moment where Creed is sitting back, he's watching TV, he's hanging out with his family, he's living. Here we go. This is it. This is the point what the movie should have been talking about. The whole movie, the main theme is how you get to, you at some point might have to watch someone else live your dream out. That is Dame's whole thing. That's Creed's wife's whole thing. She's producer, but she would rather be singing. So why don't we have Creed, who gave up boxing to be with his family, but he still wants to box, and he's seen Dame now beat everyone. He's seen Dame going on this crazy fight streak, beating every single person. And people are like, all right, now he's better than Creed. And Creed is seeing Dame live the life that Creed lived, but Creed still wants to live. He still hasn't let go of that life. He still wants one more fight. He still wants to prove that he can do it, that he's the champ. And that's how you have the last fight. With actual thematic meaning and good story beats.
I'll go on to what I believe would be the perfect setting for this movie. When we get to the fixer part, but I do 100% see that. I do 100% see what you're talking about there, and I do think that is a great take on what the movie could have been. I won't lie. It's very similar to what I would have done. But I have to disagree with you on the whole point of the movie being about, as you said, someone else living your life.
Well, I wouldn't say that's the whole point, but that's definitely one of the main themes.
Well, like one of the main messages.
That's basically Dame's entire arc, and that's also his wife's main arc.
I feel like, if anything, this movie is based on reflection. And yet again, I'll get into this now.
Okay.
I feel like I was gonna say, let me get into this now. Like, so everyone knows reflection. Reflection is a powerful tool.
Reflection as if it's a spell. Like, we all know to reflect.
No, look.
Reflection is a very powerful tool. It costs 3 mana, can only be used every 2 turns. When you use the critical hit, you can level up as a person.
I like the fact that this movie reflects all of Creed's emotions perfectly. How, in the movie, you know, he takes his time to reflect on his own experiences, from what he's taken as a boxer, from what he's taken as a fighter, from different fights, and he brings it up in this training he does. He goes back. I've been rewatching the training montage, and I see new meaning to it now, which I didn't see before. I want to get into it.
I see new meaning.
So, yeah, I see new meaning. So, bear in mind, folks, one of the things I disliked about this movie was the very short training spell. I didn't like that. I didn't like the way the movie almost gives like one song, like a little montage, and he's back in it. He's back in better than ever fighting for him. I didn't like that at all. But I'm watching back. I watched like a deep cut through vid of what the training scene actually meant, and I completely get it now. So the training scene wasn't actually about him training up to be a fighter anymore. It was him getting back into the fighter mindset.
Yeah.
And it's him reflecting on his past and him thinking to himself he can't do it anymore. Very similar to Rocky Tree. Rocky Tree, as in Rocky, of course he's prime, he's fit, he's ready. But he just doesn't have it in him. He just doesn't have the fight anymore. He watched his best fighter, his protege, go down in the ring to this guy who's clearly cheating, and he just can't bring himself.
Well, that's not
the fight against his friend.
Well, that's not
fight against
Tree, but okay. And that's not Rocky Tree, but okay.
No, Rocky Tree, yeah.
Rocky Tree's the way.
Clubber Lang.
Yeah, but that's not what his prodigy is. Rocky 5.
No, I mean for Creed Tree.
Oh.
He saw his prodigy. Of course.
I was like, bro.
Of course, Rocky Tree, he gets beaten in the first match. And he's like, dear God, I can't beat this guy.
I'll never fight again.
But I like the way Creed reflects back on everything. Everything he's done, all the injuries he's faced, all the mistakes he's made. And instead of like dwelling in the past, dwelling on all the things all the flaws he has, he's decided to see it as like an opportunity to improve himself as a fighter. Of course, he gets back in the ring with Drago. He develops new strategies to beat him in the ring.
Wow.
Of course, he's not the fastest. He's not the strongest. His hands are fucked. His ribs are gone. So he's covering his ribs more. He's using his hands as he's dipping and dodging through the ring. He's getting up. He's getting grittier. He's becoming meaner. Creed, he takes a proactive approach to learn from his failures, to turn his setbacks into something more. And that's why he doesn't need to train that much. Because he always had it. He was world champ. He realizes that to beat his friend, he needs to get himself in the perfect mind state, not the perfect physical state, because he's already there. He already has it. His fight with Pretty Ricky Conlan proves that he is the best. He just needs to convince himself that he's the best once again. If he wants to get in the ring and actually fight against his friend, he needs to tell himself once more he is Adonis Creed, because he's forgotten who he is. And that's what this movie focuses on. The finding of his identity, the reflection back on what he was and what he still is. And that's a fighter. And then to overcome the failure of Chavez, to overcome the failure against Pretty Ricky Conlan, to overcome the failure to see that he's being used by his friend, that he was upset and barely content with what he had going from. He decides to embrace everything he has. He decides to embrace his family, embrace his love for boxing, embrace his love for fighting, and get back in the ring one more time and propel himself forward to yet again be world champ. And I like that. I like that message.
Yes, but did you felt the movie portrayed that message, or did you feel like you have to watch a 20-minute video to get that message?
I had to watch a 20-minute video.
Would you not think that the movie should have conveyed that message more through other means?
Of course. And that is
I'm not saying it needs to be ham-fisted, but I'm saying it needs to be understandable. Especially when you're watching Creed. I don't think you get that message just from that thing.
I know, don't get me wrong. I 100% agree with you right now. I don't believe the movie had a good means to explain that message. And after watching the video, 100% made sense to me. But walking out of the movie, I was there like, this movie suffers from a convoluted storyline, number one. A lack of actual meaning behind it. Like, there was no meaning for Creed to get back in the ring. He could have just left it. But yet again, it was almost like the plot propelling him to do it.
Yeah.
He didn't need to train. Honestly, watching the movie, you thought he didn't need to train that much. Of course, like, why does he need to train that much?
Well,
and then he just goes out, and then he just goes out and he just beats. Damn. And it looked like he didn't even struggle that much.
You know,
in the final fight, I don't think he struggled that much. And this movie made it seem like, oh my god, it's gone to the final round now. It's the final second. Oh my god, something's gonna happen. Honestly, it looked like a 3-round kind of match.
It was way too short. It was ridiculous.
Way too short. Like the Victor Drago and Adonis Creed match went on for, I had a look there, 25 minutes.
Yeah, obviously, like, visually it was a bit off, but time-wise it gave you the feeling of he has to conquer Drago. Drago's an unstoppable monster. And I know I don't think Dame needs to be a monster. I think Dame just needs to be a force that can't be, not a monster, but someone that can just take it and give it, and he's not going to sit down. Like, someone that will keep on going and going and going and going and going and going until you sit down.
You see, you haven't seen the movie, and
you haven't seen the movie. You've never seen the movie.
No, not Creed 3. I was gonna say you haven't seen the movie. I'm gonna talk about it right now. Yeah. But Warrior is a prime example.
I've heard a lot.
Warrior is a prime example of how you play this damn character perfectly. Hey. Tom Hardy in this movie. I think I've shown you photos of Tom Hardy in this movie.
Yeah,
the dude is fucking jacked. He's huge. Looking at this fucker, like, dear God, why is he so big? But in the movie itself, he comes up against bigger people. He comes up against people the same size as Victor Drago and all that. But it's just the way he moves around the ring. He's so menacing. It's like what Dame wanted to be. This guy, he's dirty. He's ferocious. He's aggressive. Victor Drago wasn't an aggressive character. Of course, he was a strong, physically domineering character. But he wasn't like gritty. He wasn't, sink his teeth into a proper Mike Tyson kind of fighter. He wasn't like a Hellraiser or nothing like that. He'd go back to his side. He wouldn't talk shit. He wouldn't do this. He wouldn't do that.
Also, I didn't see it earlier, but hello, Hubert, if you said that. He said hello, but I didn't notice.
Ah, goddamn.
I don't have it open.
Avoiding the fella, huh?
I wish I had it open so that I'd see it all the time. So I was looking at other stuff.
But I just wish they played him off a bit better. They played him off a bit grittier. They played him off a bit more willing to cheat. Especially in that final fight. Dame, yeah.
Yeah, Dame, like his whole arc is that he cheats. He's a dirty player. He punches. He'll punch like after the bell. He'll punch before the bell. He'll hit your knee. He'll target your weakened arm. And in the final fight, he does nothing. He literally does nothing. He does like some weird leg thrust in the first second, and that's it. No games, no nothing. That's his whole shtick.
He knocks into Creed's shoulder a couple times, what he did in the Chavez fight. But you're thinking, he's gonna cheat now. That's good.
And he never does.
No, he never does. It's
stupid. This is why I think this movie failed at being what it could have been. This movie could have been the best Creed movie. It had the potential to leave Stallone in the dust, leave the idea of Rocky behind, and go for it and make the ultimate Creed movie. But it didn't, because it would establish certain laws that it would break instantly, such as the Dame one. Dame's monster, Dame's ruthless, Dame cheats, but he doesn't do any of that in the last fight. Like, what? Dame's unstoppable. Dame has the power to knock you down and you're not getting back up. Alright, Creed gets it back up, fair. But he only gets knocked down once. And then Dame gets knocked down and he's gone like a light. Never to be turned back on. Dame just gets one punched in the last round. I didn't like that at all.
I feel like with that we go into the things we disliked about this movie, and I really only have one major complaint, and that's goddamn Creed turning on Ultra Instinct, turning on fighter survival mode, turning on
going full,
turning on insta kill, turning on hacks, mods,
going full anime mode.
Practically going full anime mode and being like, you thought you could beat me? I already see openings.
I've already won.
What? It's like, how does this make any sense? Suddenly the guy goes full Ultra Instinct and starts dodging and starts seeing all these openings, but yet he still doesn't take him out. He's still dancing around the ring. Even his wife is going, what's wrong with you? Just finish him? What kind of fight accurate bullshit is that?
Like, I get it if it was Ivan Drago, but this is Creed, like.
Yeah, literally. Ivan Drago in the second Creed movie. In the second Creed movie, is being told by his dad.
No, Ivan Drago is the dad.
Ivan Drago is telling his son, Ivan Drago is telling his son, Victor, just finish it already. Just get it over with.
He's like, stop playing with him.
Because Creed was literally on the floor at this stage. He's already knocked down twice. Pretty Ricky Condon was not like hitting shots. Creed looked like he was getting affected by all this, and yet the wife is going, just finish him. All of a sudden he can like pierce into goddamn Pretty Ricky Condon's kidney with his eyes, almost like turning on Superman laser vision. It's like his kidney is exposed. Like, what? His side is exposed. His face is exposed. It's like, of course they try to show that Creed has learned over the years, and he can learn to pinpoint like weakened spots. He learned to pinpoint spots which aren't being defended or whatever. I'm trying to show, he's a mature fighter now, but there's better ways to do it.
Oh yeah.
And actually, using Pretty Ricky Conlan to show this. I do understand they want to show his character development, his growth from Creed 1. But you don't just make him look like a clown either.
I always thought he was a clown. I always thought Ricky Conlan was a clown.
No, but it's very much what's the name of the fighter? He's very much like a Tommy Fury, very much like a, like the Fury
Tyson
brothers.
Fury.
Not Tyson. You know Tommy. Tommy's the younger
the
brother.
shit one.
Yeah, the shit one. Because Tyson's a good fighter.
Tyson's the best. Tyson's literally the best.
He's just a laird lad for the most.
That's not. I know. That's what's crazy thing is he's not just like physically he looks like a laird lad. But I remember I was watching this last show and big into this. But like technically he's just a demon. Like obviously physically he can't be knocked. But like technically he just ranges people like Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. Just because he literally has basic fundamentals of just like of stepping back and his straights.
Now, Tyson's basic fundamentals are perfect, but I feel like Pretty Ricky Conlan's a lot more like Tommy Fury.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
And Tommy Fury, as in like
Jake Paul.
Yeah. As in like
a celebrity boxer.
Yeah, celebrity poser kind of person, he gets caught, he's now in jail for 7 years, like in jail for drugs, and he could be a good fighter, but he's just not.
Yeah.
I feel like he's a lot more like Tommy Fury in that sense.
Definitely. Yeah.
Like Tyson is one of the best. He is. That's why I wasn't going to use Tyson as an example there, but like the Fury brothers as like an overall example, like a, you know what I mean, like. Yeah. Anyway, I feel like it's stupid to use Pretty Ricky in that sense, and just like make him look like a scrub. They literally just made him look like a scrub, like it was a scrub exhibition match, and that's supposed to be like a title match. The Creed is now triple champ. He's like the best in the world.
I think he's almost. I think Ricky Conlan was always too good. Isn't the right answer, but I don't know. I think he was like.
Overhyped almost. It was like,
I don't know, when he was fighting and when you started getting these shots, I was like, this is Pretty Ricky Conlan, the guy who barely scraped a win over fucking Rookie Creed. Like, this is the guy who barely squeaked out a points victory against Rookie Creed, and he's going ham over Big Boy Creed, over veteran untouchable Creed. Nah, son.
Look, I feel like that was the whole point of the whole goddamn Ultra Instinct Creed. But at the same time, there's just better ways to do it. Like,
yeah, no.
I understand. Like I said, I understand using Pretty Ricky as like a means to show growth.
Yeah.
Creed, and of course they did it in the second movie as well with Wheeler. If you remember Wheeler from the gym scene in Hollywood, where Creed gets knocked out. And he gets his car taken from him. Do you remember that?
Maybe.
It's like he's in the gym. Anyway, I won't go too much into
let's we're losing track.
So, as I said, I hated the Ultra Instinct thing. I just thought it was stupid. And the fact they brought it into the final fight as well was just really, I don't know, just felt cheesy. I felt like Creed wasn't actually trying for the most part.
Yeah.
And of course they addressed that in the movie as well. It's like, you're boxing. But you're not fighting. And of course that goes into his fighter's mentality, like I said. It goes into, he needs to find his reason to be in the ring again. He needs to find his fight. And I feel like there's multiple ways I would have made this movie better. Conceptually. And just emotionally as well, because I felt like characters who had major importance in the previous movies just weren't given a look in at all. Like the wife was barely given any time.
I wouldn't say barely. I think the man was given just too much time.
The ma was given too much time. I didn't mind the fact that she died. That sounds awful. I didn't mind the fact that she died because it shows.
But they did do it well, and they did it such an
No,
awkward time.
they did it at the worst time. They literally did it at the worst time. So Chavez loses, and then the man immediately dies. Creed literally has his life ripped away from him. The friend he's rekindled with.
Well, like, that's where
Is,
I do think it was done wrong. Then.
but I don't mind the mad dying. But I feel like they could have just done it at a better time in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Like if they had done it where Dame is going around, he's beating people. Let's just say it's a couple months on. He's beating people. Creed can't do anything about it. Except, keep promoting Dame. Because Dame is the champ. He's still fighting in Creed's gym. He's still doing all this. The trainer fella is gone, of course. So Creed is there training. And then the man dies. No, because remember the trainer was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Yeah. I'm leaving. I'm done with this. Maybe you should take a break from the gym for a while. Creed should have been like, maybe you take a break from that fucking gym for a while.
Sit down. I'm Creed.
Sit down. I am Creed. Like,
I am Creed.
Bear in mind, the trainer guy is a guy I think gets too much respect in the movie as well. This dude just hated Creed. He just hated Creed.
He's always had that respect. Every single movie I don't think he ever liked Creed.
He just hated Creed. Fellow's just a born hater. And yet, why is he training Creed? That's what I don't understand. It's like they had no one else. It's literally like they had no one else. They couldn't bring in Sliced Alone, so they're like, this guy's gonna take the forefront. This guy hated Creed in the first movie. Bring him in.
What's funny is he's the son of the guy who coached Apollo.
Yeah.
Well, he's not that guy. It's not like he has like that, respect.
Yeah, he's literally just the son. And I understand, it's sons and sons. It's like trying to live through the Creed legacy. But like, this guy's just a born hater. He's a born hater in the first movie. It's like, I'm never training you. I'm going to make sure nobody in LA trains you. You're done. You're done.
Your career is over.
You haven't hustled and grinded like the rest of us, young lad. You're out of here. And yet in the third movie, we're saying like maybe 10 years after that whole incident, he's training him to fight again for the world champ. It just doesn't make sense. Get a different guy in, goddamn. I know he's not that important of a character, but that shit just annoys me. Like if somebody was there, guaranteed hater, guaranteed, goddamn, I hope you lose. You'll never be a pro fighter. You'll never do this. And you go ahead and do it. Why would you still have that person around? Never mind training you. Like, was Sly Stallone that big of like a hit to not have him? Or even better, just kill off Sly Stallone. Have him in the movie.
Dog can't kill off Rocky.
Rocky dying would have been much more impactful.
Rocky, I don't think this is the type of series to have Rocky die. I don't look back on it and be like, oh, Rocky died in Creed 3. Especially if it was in this movie. If Rocky dies in this movie, it would have been as bad as the man dying. Imagine if Rocky died in the same shite way.
That literally would have been just ground zero, worst of the worst.
You'd be like, what the hell? Now, if you think of, now what we really should have seen is Hulk Hogan back.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, Rocky versus Hulk Hogan. Do you remember?
I do remember.
The guy said
we don't need Hulk Hogan. We don't need Hulk Hogan.
And then they have to get the chair to fucking deal with him. Oh god.
Dear God, we don't need Hulk Hogan, dear Lord. Anyway,
yeah.
I'll push on to a couple of things I'll fix in this movie. Number one, I'd fix the length of the training period. Like I said earlier on, he didn't need that long of a training period, but just for the movie itself, I feel like I personally enjoy the training montages. I personally enjoy the Rocky team playing and, the bam, 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 bam. I love that. I love him training. I loved Creed 2 where he was training in the desert. I thought it was visually pleasing, number one. and it's just adrenaline pumping. It just gets you going. Goddamn, if you don't want to get down on the floor and do 10 push-ups after seeing that Creed training vid, I don't know what you're doing. But even, like, of course, Rocky 4 has, like, the most famous training montage of all time. That's literally what started training montages.
In the snow.
In the snow.
Every single Rocky had a training montage.
Yeah, but you think of number 4.
Yeah,
number 4 is iconic.
Yeah. Well, number 1's also iconic. Him running up the stairs, punching the meats.
Number 1 is iconic. But
Number
4,
1's probably more. I think number 1's more iconic, but 4's better. Because most people won't know him in the snow. They'll know him running up the steps in Philadelphia. They'll know him doing this, doing the pose, punching the air, punching the meat bags, running like under the bridge.
If I think of training montage, though, I think of Rocky 4.
But you're not the average person.
Instantly. I'm not the average person. You're a weirdo. You think of Rocky 4 instead of Rocky 1 training montage. Get out of here.
Sorry, I'm just watching I'm watching Rocky lose to Clubber Lang. It's so funny.
Oh, that fight is so bad.
He gets done.
Quite literally, they could have had that. That's my second point. They could have had Creed lose in this movie. Bear in mind, the guy hasn't fought in 3 years.
So you're saying he should have lost to Dame at the end?
I'm not saying he should have lost to Dame at the end.
I think he should have lost to Dame at the end.
I'm saying they could have had a fight in which Creed lost. They could have had even like a training, a spar match, anything to show Creed has been out of the ring for a while. Because he got back in the ring and he just looked perfectly natural.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, I did say
he
had the body for it. He was still in his prime. He just had to get back in the fighter's mentality. But 3 years is still 3 years, people. He was sipping the Henny. Let's not lie to ourselves here. Of course, thinking back, reflection is always.
Oh my god, the Rocky 4 training montage is 9 minutes long. Blessed.
It's
because it's him and Ivan Drago training side by side, and it's so good.
I love that shit.
It's so good. It's so good because because the whole point is that Rocky's now back to basics. Well, Ivan Drago, he's like all the media watching him. He's like using all like the treadmills and like all like the stats.
Yeah.
And they're all taking pictures and they're like, "Oh, look at him! Like he's so strong. He's so good."
It's literally what Rocky had in what was it, like the training montage before the first fight?
Yeah.
In Rocky 3 against Clubber Lang. You know, when he's in the hotel, he's in the 5-star hotel, and he's got all the shit set up, and he's like, "Look, I gotta do this for the fans." You know, look, we'll sit on the bags a little longer. We gotta do this for the fans. Like, are you not scared of fighting this guy, Rocky? Are you not scared? No, of course not. Like, I'm the champ.
Yeah, I think.
I feel like they definitely could have had longer training. I feel like they could have had Creed losing. And I feel like they could have made Dame a bigger menace. They could have had him wiping out the fucking league.
Yeah, they should have.
They could have had him. They could have had him wiping out the weight division. Even take on 3 or 4 people.
Basically
what Victor Drago was doing, and Creed was watching videos. He's like, "How the fuck am I gonna beat this guy?"
Yeah.
They could have had him. Of course,
Well, Creed was literally like, "Man, I'm gonna sit your ass down." Like what?
Yeah, and they jump on like the anchor show or whatever. The opinion show. Yeah, I forgot his name there.
Fuck him.
They jump on the show, and basically, what happens for you folks, if you remember, it was a pretty insignificant scene, to be fair, but goddamn, Dame calls into the show. He's there with his hose. He calls into the show, and it comes up on the screen. Diamond Dame Anderson or whatever. Current heavyweight champ. And it's just like 1-0. 1 against Chavez. That's all it says. And you're like, that is so pointless. Why couldn't they have just said like a score of like 4-0 or something like that? And they could have like coming up on like the building or whatever. He could have been just like coming out of a fight. And saying like, Dame Anderson KOs some random fucking scrub. KO's Wheeler in his last fight. And they could have been talking about that.
Yeah.
And then Creed could have been like, I still don't respect him for what he did to Chavez or whatever. He clearly cheated. And then you could have had the anchor fella go, well, look, Dame is the best fighter right now. He is that guy right now. He is the king of the ring. Did you not see this fight? Did you not see what he did in the first round? You could never do this. Look, Creed, I knew you were like top 3 maybe 3 years ago, but you can't do this. Then it would make sense. He wins one fight, and suddenly he's like the GOAT. There's GOAT discussions. Is this like Darwin Núñez scores 1 goal?
No, is he the GOAT?
Darwin scores 1 goal, gets sent off.
No one said Darwin Núñez is the GOAT.
Darwin Núñez, when he signed for Liverpool.
Darwin Núñez injured. Oh no, no.
Darwin Núñez, when he signed for the Pill at first, and he's making plays against City.
Yeah, when he
whatever
fucking
City. Whatever bollocks Community Shield. What's that? I don't even.
It was Community Shield and City got dunked on.
Community Shield bollocks match, and people were like, Hallam was a fucking waste of money. Look at this Núñez fella. This guy is prime time right now. Liverpool looking dangerous this year. You remember these discussions?
Yeah,
you remember all this? Yeah, this is literally like the Dame Anderson versus Creed discussion. Fucking Haaland's on like 28 goals right now, people. What the fuck? 28.
Yeah, but you stick Darwin Núñez in that City team, he gets goals as well.
Oh look, don't get me wrong.
You stick Jesus in that team, he's that GOAT. You put Richarlison in that team. It's a GG.
No,
the Brazilian king.
Richarlison would never.
Richarlison would never.
Man would score one
Puskas worthy goal.
One Puskas goal and dip.
Nah, push Giroud in that team and you're balling.
Giroud could not do what Haaland does.
Giroud could not.
Haaland. I used to love watching Haaland play. I used to love watching I used to, folks. I used to love watching Haaland play. Just because I used to think he was like this overlooming like creature of death for most teams. Nowadays I watch him and it's almost like how does he do it every time? Like it literally be like the most bollocks goal.
Yeah.
And it's like this. It looks like it takes no skill, but you're thinking to yourself, would I be able to do that? And you're like, I wouldn't. It's like the most bollocks goals ever, and you're like, I still wouldn't be able to do that. I find himself in like the best position in the box, and you're like, I wouldn't be able to do that. But
I also do
goddamn fucking easy.
You probably knew, or I didn't know this anyway. But that Clubber Lang went to jail, like the character.
Yeah, I knew that.
And
that's why.
Yeah, and also
that's why I talked Clubber Lang.
And also
the da for Dame.
Also, this didn't end, but Rocky Balboa in the last one, in one version of the script, Lang was supposed to be in it. And he was supposed to have become a born-again Christian.
No.
And he was addressed by his given name, James. That was only in one version. That was only in one version, though. They changed that. Imagine if they were like, oh, James.
Yeah, James in the ring right now.
Okay. I think it's about time we wrap up.
Yeah, we done?
Yeah.
Right, folks, I think with that's where we'd fix Creed 3. Overall, it's been a good podcast. I think this movie, I'll give it 6.5, if not 7 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a 7 out of 10. It's a good movie, but it's between good and really good, but that's about it.
I feel like with that, folks, I'd like to thank you again. Thank you again for joining in. I was excited to see this movie. Of course, things could be improved, but overall, a 7 out of 10 ain't bad. For the movies which have come out this year, a 7 out of 10 ain't
but
bad.
For Creed 3, the movie that you were the most hyped for, would you say you were expecting a 7 out of 10?
I was expecting an 8 or a 9 out of 10, but we can't get everything we wish for in this world. I do understand that.
What can we get?
we can get a better Creed 4. That's all. That's
Yeah,
all I'll say,
we got
folks.
his daughter in
That's
Creed
all I'll
4. We
say.
got his daughter in Creed 4.
God damn, it's gonna be like that. Remember that silent horror movie which came out with the deaf woman, and there was just no sound in the movie. That's what this next one's gonna be like. That's awful to say, but
Yeah.
with that, folks,
Yes, but
I'd like to thank you once again. 3.6K on the Avatar vid.
that's your prediction for this video, yeah.
3.6 for the Creed 3, baby. 3.6 KV. Get that?
The big
The big tree.
The
The
big-
big tree 6. Anyway, folks, thank you once again for listening. And we'll talk to you in the next one.
but